We continue now at the top of Daf Kuf Mem Gimel Amud Aleph Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 143a. The Gemara is discussing the position of Rava. Rava generally holds Muchan La'adam, Lo Have Muchan L'Klavim, like Rabbi Yehuda, that if something was set aside, it was food for humans, and then on Yontiv it becomes food for animals, that's not considered Muchan, that's a problem of Muksa. So the Gemara had a question from a case where Rava seemed to allow a goose, which was exactly this case. It was Muchan La'adam and not Muchan L'Klavim. So the Gemara now answers, Hasam Kevon de Misrach Daite Lave. Over there, since he knew that this the innards of the goose was going to go bad, so he had das on it may esmol already from yesterday. Rashi says, Hasam Kevon de Misrach Maya, since the innards of the goose he knew that would spoil, imitzna ad orsa, if he left them there until the end of Yontiv, may esmol daite alel l'shunra. He already understood that he was going to give this to a cat from before Yontiv. Uvein hashmashas nami muchan lebehema have. Already at bein hashmashas before Yontiv started, this was muchan lebehema, and that's why in this particular case the goose was not muksa, but in general Rava does hold like Rabbi Yehuda. And the Gemara says, Hachinam mistaber, this is logical. The Rava Rabbi Yehuda Svirle, that Rava holds like Rabbi Yehuda. The Darash Rava, because Rava darshan the isha lo tikones lebeso eitzim litol mehan ud. A woman should not go into the area where you're storing wood in order to take a piece of wood to use it as a spit to roast something over on the fire. V'ud shenishbar aser lasiko b'yamtiv, and also if an ud breaks, if the spit breaks, you're not allowed to burn it on Yontiv. Lefisha masikin b'kelim, because you're allowed to use kalim and burn them. V'ein masikin b'shivrei kalim, but you cannot burn broken kalim. Shma mina, you see from here that he holds like Rabbi Yehuda. Rashi says again, ud porgan destam eitzim la'asaka nitnu v'lo l'tiltel kli. Most eitzim are used for burning. You're going to use it as firewood. You're not going to use it to move it around, to move it as a kli. V'ud shenishbar b'yantiv. And let's say it breaks on Yontiv, b'shivrei kalim, shenishbru hayom dehavilahu nolad. If it breaks today, it becomes a problem of nolad. Shma mina, the Rabbi Yehuda Svirle, the Islay Muksa. You see from these statements that Rava holds like Rabbi Yehuda that there is such a thing as Muksa. He holds of Muksa, and therefore it is logical to give this answer in the case of the avza, in the case of the goose. Gemara continues with the Mishnah. Beishamai omrim, Beishamai say ma'avirin me'al hashulchan atzamos uklipin. On Shabbos, a person is allowed to remove from the table the bones and the shells that are left over from eating. It's not a problem of muksa. Beis Hillel say misalik es hatavla kula uminara. Beis Hillel say it's a problem to move the bones and the shells directly. Instead, you should take off the whole tablecloth, the whole table, move the whole thing, and shake it off. So you do it indirectly. According to this version that we have in our Mishnah, Beis Hillel ends up being the stricter position, like Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Rashi says, "Ma'avirin biyadayim me'al hashulchan atzamos kashin she'enan ruyin lekelev." We're talking about removing bones that are not even fit for a dog. Uklipin shalagozim deleslu the Beis Shammai muksa. Beis Shammai holds you can move it because Beis Shammai doesn't hold a muksa. Beis Hillel misalik as a tavla sheyesh toras kliyala, the tavla, this tablet or whatever we'll call it exactly, that's on the top of the table that you're eating on. It's considered a kli, so you can move that. But you're not allowed to move the actual shells, Rabbi Yehuda, because Beis Hillel, in our version of the Mishnah right here, they hold like Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. And the Mishnah continues, Ma'avirin milifnei hashulchan peirurin pachas mikazayis. You can move crumbs that are less than a kazayis. Rashi says for sure you can move crumbs that are kazayis because that's already food for an animal. The question is, if it's so small, can you move that as well? And it says you are allowed to. V'seyar shel afunin v'seyar adashim, and also the pods which you have peas inside them or you have lentils inside them, you can move those as well. Mivnei shu meichel behema, those are all considered animal food. Rashi over here says v'sar shel afunin sharvitin shel kitnias shakitnias gadol. These are the pods that the kitnias grow in, and so you can move those as well. It's not a problem. Svug, now what about a sponge, Mieshlo or Beis Achiza? If it has a leather handle, Mekanchenbo, you can use it to wipe down the table. V'imlav ein Mekanchenbo. If not, you can't wipe down the table because we're afraid that you're going to do schita, you're going to squeeze out the liquid. V'chachamim omrim, most people take out v'chachamim omrim, but either way, bein kach uvein kach, whether it has the leather handle or not, nitol b'Shabbos, you are allowed to carry it on Shabbos. It's not a problem of muksa. If it's dry, ve'eno mekabel tumah, it's not mekabel tumah. Rashi explains, nitol b'Shabbos kishu nagav, if it's dry, you can pick it up on Shabbos. Ve'eno mekabel tumah, de'eno lo kli eitz, v'lo beged, v'lo sak, v'lo mateches. It's not considered a wooden vessel. It's not a beged. It's not a sackcloth. It's not metal. It has none of the it has none of the qualities that would allow it to be mekabel tumah. And the Gemara now says as follows: Amar Rav Nachman says, Anu ein lanu ela Beis Shammai Rabbi Yehuda Beis Hillel Rabbi Shimon. We have it reversed, as I mentioned when we did the Mishnah. According to the way we have the Mishnah, Beis Shammai is the lenient opinion and Beis Hillel is the strict opinion. But Rav Nachman says no, we have it the other way around. Beis Shammai are the ones that hold like Rabbi Yehuda, and Beis Hillel hold like Rabbi Shimon. Rashi says, Anu ein lanu ein anu somchen al Mishnah seinu kemo shishnui. We do not rely on our Mishnah the way that it is recorded. Ela muchlefa shitaso Beis Shammai Rabbi Yehuda. Beis Shammai they're strict like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to muksa. Beis Hillel are lenient like Rabbi Shimon. Ma'avirin milufnei hashulchan peirurin. Then it said you're allowed to take off crumbs even if they're less than a kazayis from the table. Messiah leila Rabbi Yochanan. This is a support for Rabbi Yochanan. Dam Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says peirurin shein ben kazayis asur la'avdin biyad. If you have crumbs less than a kazayis, you're not allowed to destroy them. So Rashi says the diuk here is from the fact that you're supposed to remove them from the table, but you can't throw them off the table. You're not allowed to treat them in that fashion. Ser shalafunin. Moni Rabbi Shimon, he delesle muksa. So the Gemara says it's when it says over here in the case of the pods, it seems to be following Rabbi Shimon, who does not hold a muksa. Rashi explains delesle muksa di Rabbi Yehuda me espol lavla behema kaimi. According to Rabbi Yehuda, yesterday these weren't fit for an animal. Sharei ochel hayeman, because there was food with them. V'hayom lokach mem. Now you're taking out the food that was inside. Now it's fit for an animal. So and yet we're saying that we're allowed to move it around. It seems to follow Rabbi Shimon, who does not hold of muksa. Ema seifa. Look at the end of the Mishnah. It says that you're not allowed to use a sponge if you're going to squeeze out, if you may come to squeeze out the liquid. But that's not like Rabbi Shimon. I saw Rabbi Yehuda, davar shein miskavin aser. That seems to follow Rabbi Yehuda, who holds davar shein miskavin as aser. According to Rabbi Shimon, if it's a davar shein miskavin, if you are not intending on squeezing, it should be permitted. Our Mishnah says it's a problem. Seems to be like Rabbi Yehuda. So how is it that one part of the Mishnah follows Rabbi Shimon, and then the other part of the Mishnah, the other stam part of the Mishnah follows Rabbi Yehuda? So the Gemara says, "Baha afilu Rabbi Shimon moden." No, in the case of the sponge, even Rabbi Shimon is going to admit that it's a problem. As we've said many times, Rabbi Shimon admits that if you have a davar shein miskavin, that's for sure going to happen. In this case, you're for sure going to come to squeeze out the liquid. Even Rabbi Shimon is moda that it is a problem. The Gemara continues, Hani garinin de tamri armayasa. If you have the pits of dates from Aram, sharu letoltalinu, you're allowed to move those around. Hoel v'chazian agav iman, because they're fit because of the dates themselves. Rashi here explains that these are bad dates. These are dates that humans wouldn't eat. They're set aside for a behemoth in the first place. So the pits are also set aside for a behemoth. So already going into Shabbos, these entire things were set for behemoth. So it's muchan. It's not a problem of muksa. However, with the parsiyas, if you have the Persian dates, aser, then that's already going to be a problem, because the issue is that the dates themselves are for humans. And now when you eat the dates and you're left with the pits, that's for animals, but that's only become muchan for animals after Shabbos has started. So now you have this problem that you're not allowed to go, that you're going to be not allowed to move it. Rashi over here says again, the dates themselves are fed to an animal because they're bad. Therefore, the entire thing is set aside for behemoth, so it's not a problem. Muksa, but parsiyasa, tamarim tovim, maybe those are good tamarim. Vein machilin osan lebehemoth, you would never feed them to behemoth, so now you have a problem muksa. So what can we do with them if it's a problem muksa? So the Gemara says Shmuel metaltalu agav rifta. Shmuel used to move the pits of these dates using bread. So since the bread was not a problem muksa, together with the bread he would move those. Shmuel l'taimi, this is Shmuel according to his reasoning. Diamar Shmuel osa adam kol tzarcha bepas. Shmuel holds you're allowed to use bread. It's not considered a bizayon to use bread for other purposes. Rabba metaltalu agav likna demaya. Rabba would move them around with a basin of water, with a jug of water. Rav Huna braid Rav Yoshua avidlu kegraf shel rei. Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yoshua, would allow them to accumulate till they became almost like a graf shel rei, till they become like a pile of garbage, which graf shel rei you're allowed to remove from your house, and you could feed it to a behemoth. Amar le Rav Ashi la Amemar. Rav Ashi said to Amemar, "V'chiyosim graf shel rei lechatchila." Are you allowed to intentionally create a graf shel rei? That's not true. You're not allowed to do that intentionally and purposely do it so you can get around the issue of muksa. Rav Shesha zarak lu belishne. Rav Shesha used to spit out the pits with his tongue. Rav Papa zarak lu achore hamita. Rav Papa used to throw them behind the bed. Amru olav al Rabbi, or really here the bed is actually the bed that he's eating on. They used to recline when they were eating. Amru olav al Rabbi Zechariah ben Avkulas. They said about Rabbi Zechariah ben Avkulas, shayamachzir ponav achore hamita, that he would turn his face to the back of what he was sitting, to the back of the bed that he was reclining on, v'zorkon, and he would throw them out. Hadron aloch notel asbeno. This is the end of Parak Notel, the end of the 21st Parak of Meseches Shabbos. If you are enjoying this channel and you're using it, please consider supporting this channel. You can take a look at the description box below for all the various ways that you can support this channel, and you can share and subscribe. And we will continue with Perek 22 of Meseches Shabbos in the next video on Daf Kuf Mem Gimel Amud Beis.